All right, we've made it past the entire help menu of Theater and Interactive Night of Horror, copyright 1995 by Cave Rock Software, all rights reserved. Let's begin the game. I am excited to begin. Hope you have your hot cup of cocoa or hot herbal tea while we're reading this to you. Oh, you're enjoying this. So, Theater Lobby is the first room and first page of the game. Square brackets, instructions, and other information is available by typing help at the pointy bracket prompt and pressing enter or return. We've already done that. Let's move on. Another day, another dollar. Life is good at the moment. The property market is booming. Still, it does have its downside. When showing those Mueller Corporation executives around that old theater dump, opportunity, you must have left your pager down in the basement. Better hurry. You have to meet the others at the opera in an hour. And be careful. It wouldn't do to show up with your clothes all dirty. Theater Lobby. This room is a tribute to the now faded glory of the theater. The still smiling faces of forgotten productions stare out from faded posters at you. An old grand staircase leads up, while the exit lies to the south. Small private doors lead northeast and northwest. What do you want to do now? And there we have the prompt. What are we going to do now? By the way, big shout out to ifarchive.org for the theater text adventure game solution in helping me getting through this game very quickly. So what do we want to do now? Type in NW, Northwest. Northwest is the manager's office. Judging from the desk and lots of papers everywhere, this must have been the manager's office. Doors lead to the southeast and to the north. There is an open trap door in the floor. It was through here that you left your pager. You can also see a closed metal safe here. What do you want to do now? At the prompt, after we type in Northwest and we get to the manager's office, we want to type in D for down. Down the basement. Basement. You can barely make anything out in here. The only source of illumination is the light seeping in from the street level windows. Not that it really matters, because all this room seems to contain is boxes and a couple of barrels. There is an open trap door in the ceiling. It was through here that you left your pager. An old electrical panel is mounted on the wall. Sitting on one of the boxes is your trusty pager, right where you left it. You can also see a loose page here. What do you want to do now? So once we arrive at the basement and we go down, we want to type in get all. Get all. Loose page taken. Pager taken. What do you want to do now? I want to save my game, for one thing. We'll save our game. We will go to, let's see, where we're going to save here. So I'm going to make a new folder called Saves, and I will put in Theater Basement, page, loose page, type in loose page, and pager taken. And we'll date this as October. This game was recorded on October 30th, 25. So we got the pager. That's pretty quick, but I don't think it'd be much of an adventure if we just went left. So let's find out what we do after we get all. Let's type in inventory. Inventory. You are carrying your pager and a loose page. Note that the command prompt will be smaller now. Also, the prompt command can be used to remove the prompt completely. What now? Want to examine panel. Examine panel. The electrical panel is mounted on the wall. On it, you can see a switch. The switch is off. What now? You want to turn on switch. Turn on switch. You turn the switch on. It emits a low hum, but nothing special seems to have happened. What now? After we turn on the switch, examine barrels. Examine barrels. Oddly, the barrels are filled with old stale popcorn, just like in that short story we read last time with the elderly janitor having barrels of stale popcorn for his dogs, I believe. So what we want to do after we examine the barrels, we get popcorn. I'm getting hungry just thinking. I love popcorn. Popcorn. You scoop up the popcorn. Brackets, there is plenty more in the barrels. What now? Save. And we'll save this as theater. We'll save this as popcorn taken. Just so we can keep track of what we do. Popcorn taken. Once we take the popcorn, we type in again. All right. Maybe I did. Okay. I didn't think I misunderstood. Okay, I think it means get the popcorn again. There's plenty more in the barrel. Get popcorn. You scoop up the popcorn, there's plenty more in the barrel. We have to do this 2 more times. Get popcorn. You scoop up the popcorn, brackets, there is plenty more in the barrels. And we do it a 3rd time. Get popcorn. You scoop up the popcorn, there is plenty more in the barrels. Let's just save the game. I'll just type in 3rd time. 3rd time taken. And then we go up. We want to type in up. Up, manager's office. Judging from the desk and lots of papers everywhere, this must have been the manager's office. Doors lead to the southeast and to the north. There is an open trapdoor in the floor. You can also see a closed metal safe here. What now? After we go up into the manager's office, we want to type in SE for southeast. Theater lobby. This room is a tribute to the now faded glory of the theater. The still smiling faces of forgotten productions stare out from faded posters at you. An old grand staircase leads up, while the exit lies to the south. Small private doors lead northeast and northwest. What now? After we go southeast, we want to type in S for south. Outside the theater. The neighborhood outside the theater has deteriorated steadily over the last 3 decades to the state of a slum. Brackets, not that you would ever use that word, of course. Now a slight mist covers the litter-strewn streets. The street heads east and west into the murky twilight. You stop for a moment. Something is wrong with this scene. Your car is missing. Your car is not here. Your car is gone. There is a big space where your car was once parked. It's absent, vanished, vacated the premises, disappeared, comma, ... stolen. Someone has stolen your car. How typical. In order to save an annoying little pager, fate has robbed you of your car. That car has been part of your life for years, and now it is gone. It looks like you could be late for the opera after all. What now? Oh, no. So what do we do? Oh, after we go south, we want to type in N. N. As you start to head back into the theater, you smell something unpleasant and hear laughter behind you. You stop around and turn around. Before you stands a nasty-looking thug wielding a sharp knife. "What's the matter?" the thug mumbles. "Losing?" What now? So after we type in north and we meet the thug, we want to type in examine thug. Examine thug. This individual is very large and bulky and is wearing heavy leather clothing that is ripped in several places. He has very pale skin but dark spooky eyes and stare at you with no trace of emotion, brackets perhaps even life. You can't help but notice that half of his mouth is sewn together. What? He emits a rather unpleasant odor that is difficult to classify, but you concentrate more on the sharp and deadly little knife he is holding. I wanna for myself, your companion continues, waving his knife about. What now? Pardon my cat jingling his collar with bells in the background. He's scratching himself while laying down in the chair. So, I'm going to save as theater. Examine thug. October 30th. And save the game. Okay, so once we do that, what's it telling me to do? Z.Z.Z.Z. What if I type in Z.Z.Z.Z.Z. Okay, this time passes, but she need that yo. Time passes. Lika does. Time passes. Now that his little speech is over, the thug steps towards you and you notice that his grip on the knife is tightening. Time passes. The thug begins slashing a knife at you. He seems to be trying to drive you back into the theater. Square brackets more. Time passes. Go and zid. The thug growls at you, or I slash ya. What now? So the Z makes time go fast. So we want to type in north. North. You retreat into the theater lobby. This room is a tribute to the now faded glory of the theater. The still smiling faces of forgotten productions stare out from faded posters at you. An old grand staircase leads up, while the exit lies to the south. Small private doors lead northeast and northwest. Great. Now you are trapped in the theater. Perhaps there is a phone somewhere here. What now? So we typed in north, then we want to drop all but pager. So type in drop all but pager. Old stale popcorn. Dropped. Old stale popcorn. Dropped. Old stale popcorn. Dropped. Old stale popcorn. Dropped. Loose page. Dropped. What now? Let's check our inventory. And you are carrying our pager. So that is still good. So let's save our game. Theater lobby. Lobby. Got pager. So let's just save our game here. So we've saved our game. We've dropped everything except our pager. We dropped the popcorn and we saved the game and the page. We dropped the page as well. So we want to save the game, which we've done. Now we want to go northwest. Northwest. Manager's office. Judging from the desk and lots of papers everywhere, this must have been the manager's office. Doors lead to the southeast and to the north. There is an open trapdoor in the floor. You can also see a closed metal safe here. What now? I'm going to save as manager's office. Manager's office. Once we arrive at the northwest, the manager's office, it says to drop the pager. So drop pager. Dropped. We want to save as manager's office, and we'll save this as a different name. Pager dropped. All right, so we've dropped the pager now in the manager's office of the theater. Then we type in north. Cramped hallway. Boxes of junk line the walls, making the narrow hallway even more difficult to navigate through. Excuse me. Doors lead south and west, while the hallway continues north. You can see a loose page here. What now? So after we arrive north, we want to type in get all. Loose page taken. What now? We want to save as cramped hallway. Cramped hallway. And we'll save us as loose page taken. All right, so at least we know what to do in case we need to retrieve a file, a room that we've lost. We've lost a life in case we can go back. So once we get all, we want to type in W for west. West, tight stairway. This narrow little stairway winds its way up to the west and down to the east. Then we want to type in west one more time. West, center of long corridor. This is a long wood paneled corridor that goes north and south. A narrow little staircase leads down to the east from here, while a door goes west. What now? After we type in west twice, we want to type in S for south. South end of long corridor. This is a long wood paneled corridor that goes north from here. Doors lead south and west. After we go there, we want to type in west for W. West. Music room. This room seems to have contained music equipment. Battered violin cases and coils of various types of strings litter the floor. For the less musically inclined, a door leads east. A piano has been pushed up against one of the walls. You can also see a sheet of music here. What now? So once we get to the music room, we'll save our game. We'll save this as theater, and we'll save this as music room. Music room. All right, we've arrived at the music room. And once we arrive at the music room, we've saved our file. We want to type in push piano east. Push piano east. Push piano east. The piano moves easily as you push it. South end of long corridor. This is a long wood paneled corridor that goes north from here. Doors lead south and west. The piano rolls to a stop. What now? Oh, really cool. It's like a secret entrance. So we'll save this as save as save it as south end of long corridor. So we've saved that. We pushed the piano east. Now we want to push the piano south. Push piano south. Push piano south. The piano moves easily as you push it. What happens is we are entering the prop room. In here were stored many of these smaller props once used in the theater's production. Shelves of junk line the walls. A door leads out to the north. There is a closed trapdoor in the ceiling. The piano rolls to a stop. What now? We'll save the game as prop room. We always want to, any important rooms, we want to save them. Not necessarily every room, but definitely important rooms. Prop room. So we arrived at the prop room after we pushed the piano south. We want to type in climb. We want to type in climb up piano. Climb up piano. You got onto the piano. What now? And we want to open trap door. You open the trap door. What now? Type in up or U. Southern end of the attic. You have made your way up into the attic of the theater. Wooden studs and cross beams make progress through the room difficult but not impossible. Cobwebs and thick dust line the area. The attic continues further to the north. An open trap door in the floor leads down. You can also see 2 loose pages here. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 1 point. What now? We want to save our game as southern end of attic. Southern end of the attic. Okay. So once we arrive at the southern end of the attic, what do we do now? And we type in get all. Loose page taken. Loose page taken. We'll definitely what now? Save. And we want to take in, we're going to save this as pages taken. 2 pages taken. This is important. This is obviously some kind of scavenger hunt we have to go on. We have to collect all these different pages from a book or from a file folder. So after we get all those pages from the attic, we want to type in north. North. Attic above the theater. Dust coats the cross beams and covers the thinly plastered floor here. Looking through the cracks in some of the plaster, you can see that you are high above the theater auditorium itself. The attic continues south from here, while to the north you notice a curious construction. Supported on the floor by a couple of sturdy crossbeams is a large winch with a handle. From the winch, a thick cable runs down through a hole in the floor. Through the cracks, you can see that the cable ends at a large chandelier. What now? I want to save the game for onesies. We'll save this as attic above the theater. Save this as attic above the theater. So once we arrived to the attic above the theater, we went north, and we want to turn handle. There is supposedly a handle here. There's a large winch with a handle. Type in turn handle. Turn handle. As you turn the handle, the winch lowers the chandelier to the auditorium far below. Floor far below. What now? Once we turn the handle, we want to type in north. North. Attic Observatory. You conclude that this must be some kind of observatory. After all, what else could it be? However, why is it that instead of the usual dome, the roof just has a strangely patterned window? Also, instead of the normal studs and cross beams, the exposed wooden beams of the walls are set at bizarre angles. It gives you the impression that you are inside a large, multi-sided mathematical shape. An opening leads south. Completing the scene is a large, strangely shaped telescope. What now? How odd. We're in a geometric shape with bizarre angles. We want to save our game as Attic Observatory. Attic Observatory. Okay, we're going to save our game right here because this is getting, the plot is getting thick with mystery. This is really interesting. We've been playing Theater, an interactive night of horror text adventure game on Video Gamers Oasis. Make sure to click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure that bell is wiggling. Now I saved and closed the game earlier, so now I'm restoring the file where we left off, and that was in the observatory, the Theater Observatory. So we're just going to restore the file. It's actually called Attic Observatory. What now? So I type in the word look. Attic Observatory. You conclude that this must be some kind of observatory. After all, what else could it be? However, why is it that instead of the usual dome, the roof just has a strangely patterned window? Also, instead of the normal studs and cross beams, the exposed wooden beams of the walls are set at bizarre angles. It gives you the impression that you are inside a large multi-sided mathematical shape. An opening leads south. Completing the scene is a large, strangely shaped telescope. What now? So we're in this attic observatory. It's a very unusual, three-dimensional, bizarre, geometric, mathematical shape of the theater room. It's a huge gallery. Now we're going to type in get lens in its dome. We're going to type get lens, and we remove the lens from the telescope. With a loud hiss, you remove the lens from the telescope. You can't help but notice that a green, foul-smelling gas emits from the new opening. A strange greenish gas pours out of the telescope. What now? Next, I want to save the file. Probably going to alter the file name slightly to indicate the get lens. Okay, so what now? After we obtain the lens and the greenish gas pours out of the telescope, type in south or S. Attic above the theater. Dust coats the cross beams and covers the thinly plastered floor here. Looking through the cracks in some of the plaster, you can see that you are high above the theater auditorium itself. The attic continues south from here, while to the north, you notice a curious construction. Supported on the floor by a couple of sturdy cross beams is a large winch with a handle. From the winch, a thick cable runs down through a hole in the floor. The cable extends down to the theater floor. What now? Type in save. We'll probably save the file attic above the theater and date the file. So you're probably going to adjust the name, and you want to replace this file name? Yes. All right. Our next step that we need to take in the attic above the theater. Type in S for south, southern end of the attic. You have made your way up into the attic of the theater. Wooden studs and crossbeams make progress through the room. Difficult, but not impossible. Cobwebs and thick dust line the area. The attic continues further to the north. An open trapdoor in the floor leads down. What now? Save. Save the file as southern end of the attic and date the file. I save a lot because you never know, something could happen to the hero or the protagonist in the story. You could die and you need to retrieve your file to retrieve where we left off. What now? Now that we saved the file, the file name of the game, type in D for down. Prop room. In here were stored many of these smaller props once used in the theater's production. Shelves full of junk line the walls. A door leads out to the north. An open trapdoor in the ceiling leads up. You can also see a piano here. What now? Save our file as prop room and date the file. Type in N for north. South end of long corridor. This is a long wood-paneled corridor that goes north from here. Doors lead south and west. What now? Excuse me. Type in N for north. Center of long corridor. This is a long wood-paneled corridor that goes north and south. A narrow little staircase leads down to the east from here, while the door goes west. What now? Type in E for east. Tight stairway. This narrow little stairway winds its way up to the west and down to the east. What now? Type in E again. Type cramped hallway. Boxes of junk line the walls, making the narrow hallway even more difficult to navigate through. Doors lead south and west, while the hallway continues north. What now? Type in N again. Narrow hallway. Here the boxes have recently collapsed, creating a large pile of junk. The air is very musty here. A large pile of carpet rolls have fallen over, effectively blocking the way north. But you can go back to the south. What now? Type in move carpet. Move carpet. You give the pile of rolls a solid push and they collapse, freeing the passage to the north. You suddenly realize that there was a body under the pile! Exclamation point. You look closer at the body. Bloody hell, it's Reinhardt, one of the Mueller executives you were showing around earlier. The body has obviously been crushed by the rolls. What now? This is a very shocking development here. So let's see what happens now. Type in save and we'll name it as narrow hallway. And you can even name it, we can add the word find body if you want to date it. And date it after we've body, yeah. So we saved as narrow hallway dash body. So after we've saved our file with our shocking discovery, type in GET dash all. Okay. We type in get all, Reinhardt's corpse. You drag poor Reinhardt over your shoulder. So get all includes any items that are in the room. So we picked up Reinhardt's corpse and we put him on our shoulder. Type in examine body. He hasn't been dead long. He possesses an appointment book. What now? Type in save. So we'll rename that file. Might rename it Reinhardt's body book, get book, or something of that nature. We've got to find some kind of reason why this man died. So what now? What do we do with this situation? Type in read book. Read book. You quickly browse through the appointment book. It seems to contain the normal entries, appointments, and quote-unquote to-do lists. Today's entry mentions the appointment you had earlier. You notice that in big red letters circled next to the appointment is ... quote-unquote collect phone. Reinhardt left his cellular phone here. If you can find that, then you can call for help. What now? So we'll want to save our file, update the file, probably name it Read Reinhardt's book, something to that effect, and date it. So if we can find the phone, we can get some help. This is a very serious situation. Now that we've read the book, the appointment book for Reinhardt, what do we need to do now? Type in inventory. You are carrying Reinhardt's corpse, inside whom is an appointment book, a clear lens, and 3 loose pages. What now? End for north. End of hallway. The narrow hallway and its rows of boxes come to an end here. To the north is the back exit of the theater, while the hallway continues south and an office door leads west. You can see a loose page here. What now? Type in get all. Loose page taken. What now? Type in save. I'll save our file as end of hallway and loose page taken, something to that effect, and we'll date the file. Excellent. Type in N for alley, courtyard. You are behind the old theater building in a small courtyard in the center of the city block. On all sides, tall buildings block you in. Once an alleyway allowed passage to the streets, but that alleyway was built over a couple of decades ago. So now the large stage doors to the south are quite useless. A small back entrance, however, lies to the southwest. A closed rubbish bin stands in the corner. What now? So we're in the alley courtyard. I'm going to type in save. We'll name it as alley courtyard. Date it, of course. After saving our room or file that we had with the alley courtyard, I'm going to type in open bin. Open bin. You open the rubbish bin, revealing a loose page and an old ticket. What now? So these are some valuable finds we found here. We're on a little bit of a scavenger hunt, so we have to obtain all these loose pages. We're going to type in get page, comma, ticket from bin. So we indicate both loose page removed and old ticket removed. What now? We'll save the file as the alley courtyard, and we'll add the words loose page and old ticket taken, something to that effect. Date the file. So after obtaining the loose page and the old ticket from the garbage bin, type in SW for southwest, end of hallway. The narrow hallway and its rows of boxes come to an end here. To the north is the back exit of the theater, while the hallway continues south and an office door leads west. What now? Type in S for south, narrow hallway. Here the boxes have recently collapsed, creating a large pile of junk. The air is very musty here. The hallway continues north past some carpet rolls and south. What now? Type in south. Cramped hallway. Boxes of junk line the walls, making the narrow hallway even more difficult to navigate through. Doors lead south and west, while the hallway continues north. What now? Type in south again. Manager's office. Judging from the desk and lots of papers everywhere, this must have been the manager's office. Doors lead to the southeast and to the north. There is an open trapdoor in the floor. You can also see your pager and a closed metal safe here. What now? Type in SE for southeast. Theater lobby. This room is a tribute to the now faded glory of the theater. The still smiling faces of forgotten productions stare out from faded posters at you. An old grand staircase leads up, while the exit lies to the south. Small private doors lead northeast and northwest. You can see a loose page and 4 lots of old, stale popcorn here. What now? I'm going to type in drop all, but lens. Old ticket dropped. Loose page dropped. Loose page dropped. Reinhardt's corpse dropped. Loose page dropped. Loose page dropped. And loose page dropped. What now? I'm going to check my inventory, and you are carrying a clear lens. What now? So we want to type in save. Rename the theater lobby, but we'll name it as corpse body dropped, something to that effect, to indicate a different situation. And date the file. All right. The plot is thickening. What now? I'm going to type in U for up. Staircase landing. Here the grand staircase splits to the east and the west. You can also go back down to the south. A huge portrait dominates the northern wall. What now? Type in save. We'll rename that as staircase landing. Date the file. Okay, what now? I want to type in open door. Brackets, the painted oaken door. Surprisingly, the painted door opens easily, revealing a passage leading north. What now? So there's a secret door in the painting, the big mural on the wall, on the top of the stairway. So what now? I want to type in E for Eastern Landing. This landing circles around the upper level of the lobby, allowing you to see down into it. The landing continues south and west, where it goes down the lobby stairs. A set of double doors lead north to the theater auditorium itself, while a single, finely carved wooden door leads east. What now? Type in S for south, southern landing. The landing sweeps around the theater's entrance hall. Here at the southern end, you are above the main doors and you can look down to the lobby below. The landing continues to the northeast and northwest. Against the southern wall, you can see some closed, heavy curtains. What now? I'm going to type in open curtains. You open the curtains, revealing a curiously patterned circular window illuminated by the street lights behind it. What now? Alright, so we've opened the curtains now and we've revealed a unusual window. Save the file as Southern Landing - open curtains, something to that effect. Excellent. So after we saved our location and the Southern Landing, I'm going to type in NE for Northeast, Eastern Landing. This landing circles around the upper level of the lobby, allowing you to see down into it. The landing continues south and west, where it goes down the lobby stairs. A set of double doors lead north to the theater auditorium itself, while a single, finely carved wooden door leads east. What now? Type in W for west, staircase landing. Here the grand staircase splits to the east and the west. You can also go back down to the south. A huge portrait dominates the northern wall. The painted door in it is open, showing a passage to the north. What now? Type in D for down. Theater lobby. This room is a tribute to the now faded glory of the theater. The still smiling faces of forgotten productions stare out from faded posters at you. An old grand staircase leads up, while the exit lies to the south. Small private doors lead northeast and northwest. The light shining down from the circular window above you has created a faint spotlight with a curious pattern on the floor. You can also see 6 loose pages, Reinhardt's corpse, brackets in which is an appointment book, an old ticket, and 4 lots of old, stale popcorn here. What now? What a combination of things. Type in put lens in spotlight. Now, you put the clear lens into the direct center of the spotlight. Somehow the pattern seems to get burned into the lens. Brackets, your score has just gone up by 2 points. What now? I'm going to type in score. You have so far scored 3 out of a possible 50 in 78 turns, meaning that you are just starting out. What now? I want to type in get lens taken. What now? Type get ticket taken. I should have did both at the same time, but that's all right. Type in U for staircase landing. Here the grand staircase splits to the east and the west. You can also go back down to the south. A huge portrait dominates the northern wall. The painted door in it is open, showing a passage to the north. What now? Type in E for eastern landing. This landing circles around the upper level of the lobby, allowing you to see down into it. The landing continues south and west, where it goes down the lobby stairs. A set of double doors lead north to the theater auditorium itself, while a single, finely carved wooden door leads east. What now? Type in N for north. Eastern theater aisle. This aisle runs north and south through the large theater auditorium, where you are surrounded by a sea of seats. Another aisle is to the west, while the stage is to the north. Double doors lead south. The chandelier has been lowered to ground level for easy access. You hear a faint whisper from out of the darkness, comma, quote unquote, tickets, please. What now? So this is getting kind of spooky. I hear a little bit of a ghostly voice around the chandelier of the Eastern Theater aisle. Type in save. We're going to save our file as Eastern Theater aisle. Alright, so now we've saved our file and saved our room, and we're going to take a quick break. Alright, we're going to continue with Theater, an Interactive Night of Horror, copyright 1995 by Cave Rock Software Limited, all rights reserved. If you haven't already, please click the notification bell after subscribing to Video Gamers Oasis. Thank you so much for your support. And send some likes and loves while you're at it. Type in restore, go to saves, we're going to the Eastern Theater aisle. Now previously we had a ghostly voice ask for tickets. This aisle runs north and south to the large theater auditorium, where you are surrounded by a sea of seats. Another aisle is to the west, while the stage is to the north. Double doors lead south. The chandelier has been lowered to ground level for easy access. You hear a shallow breathing from nearby. What now? So after we've saved the game already, we want to type in push chandelier. You give the chandelier a large push and it starts swinging back and forth. You hear a faint whisper from out of the darkness. Tickets, please. After that, I want to type in drop ticket. After dropping the ticket, a voice hisses out. You are far too early. Come back later. There is a sudden gust of cold air, and you find yourself ... in the staircase landing. Here the grand staircase splits to the east and the west. You can also go back down to the south. A huge portrait dominates the northern wall. The painted door in it is open, showing a passage to the north. Your old ticket flutters down beside you. What now? After dropping the ticket, we want to go east twice. East, Eastern Landing. This landing circles around the upper level of the lobby, allowing you to see down into it. The landing continues south and west, where it goes down the lobby stairs. A set of double doors lead north to the theater auditorium itself, while a single, finely carved wooden door leads east. What now? Type in east again. Eastern Stairway. This is a finely carpeted stairway that leads down to a wooden door and up to the north. You hear voices from above you, but you cannot make out what is being said. After going east twice, you want to go type in U for up. Eastern Balcony. You are in the eastern balcony overlooking the theater auditorium, where once the elite would have been seated enjoying the shows on the stage below. Far across from you to the west, you can see the other balcony seats. The only exit for those who cannot fly is down to the south. Below you, the auditorium's chandelier has been lowered to the ground level. The chandelier is swinging back and forth, and its arc is carrying it within your reach. What now? We want to save the game as Eastern Balcony. And this is dated October 31st. Yesterday was Thursday. Today is Friday, October 31st, Halloween. This is time of this game being completed. Now, after going up to the eastern balcony, you want to type in Go Chandelier. Go Chandelier.
Go chandelier. You grab hold of the chandelier and swing across. Below you, the seats become an endless blur. You see the western wall and balcony approaching rapidly. You close your eyes and let go. After a painful landing, you find yourself ... in the western balcony. A thick layer of dust everywhere shows that no one has been here for quite a while, which is not surprising since there seems to be no way out of here. A bricked up doorway once led west from here. Looking closer, you realize that there is an exit. A small hole has been knocked into the wooden wall to the side of the bricked up wall. The hole, which is small enough to crawl through, leads northwest. Below you, the auditorium chandelier has been lowered to the ground level. The chandelier is swinging back and forth, and its arc is carrying it within your reach. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 2 points. What now? Square brackets, more. Alright, so let's save our game as Western Balcony. After we go chandelier, we're going to go northwest. Back wall. You seem to be crawling along inside a hollow in the wall, separating the theater from the building next to it. It is very dirty in here, and the lack of light makes it difficult to see anything clearly. The hollow continues south from here, while a hole lies to the southeast. You can see a loose page here. You want to type in get all. Loose page taken. What now? I'm going to save our game as back wall, get page, get loose page. Back wall, get loose page. Alright, after we obtain the loose page, I'm going to type in south, wall with large hole. This narrow hollow, which exists in the wall separating the theater from its neighboring building, continues north from here. However, a large hole leads west from here into the neighboring building itself. After going south, you want to go west. Secret library. You appear to have discovered a secret library. The room is filled with rows and rows of bookcases, each containing hundreds of old books. The air is filled with the smell of musty paper. Aisles lead south, while a small recess lies to the north. To the east, a bookcase has collapsed, leaving a hole in the wall. I'm going to save our game as Secret Library. Secret Library. So we've already gone west. After going south, we want to go, finally, we want to go N. Or north. Reading recess. This little recess appears to have been once a reading area. A small reading table and chair are still here. The library continues to the south. On the reading desk are 2 loose pages. What now? Type in get page. Get page taken. What now? Get page again. The loose page taken. What now? Look. The little recess appears to have once been a reading area. A small reading table and chair are still here. The library continues to the south. What now? We'll save this game as reading recess. Pages taken. Inventory. You are carrying 3 loose pages and a pattern lens. So after we've taken those pages, we're going to type in south, secret library. You've returned to the secret library. Nothing new has happened here. Next, after they go to the secret library, you want to go south again. Southern end of the library. You are at the southern end of the library, surrounded by rows and rows of old bookcases, all covered with strange glistening ropes. A cold and damp breeze blows in from a broken French window to the west, while the library aisle leads north. You can see that all the strange glistening strands converge in the center of a large heap of rotting books that appear to have been made into a nest. In the center of the nest, you can see a large slug or larva, at least 1.5 meters in length. What now? Creepy. So we'll save this as southern end of the library. Okay. We've gone south twice. We've gone south once, actually twice now. Now we want to go north. Secret library. You have returned to the secret library. The room is filled with rows and rows of bookcases, each containing hundreds of old books. The air is filled with the smell of musty paper. Aisles lead south, while a small recess lies to the north. To the east, a bookcase has collapsed, leaving a hole. It says to unhook chain. Hope I'm doing the right thing. Unhook chain. You unhook the chain. You unhook the chain from the hook. What now? Want to type in push bookcase. With a good push, the first bookcase tips over, striking the next one. That collapses, knocking the next one. Like a series of dominoes, all the bookcases fall over one by one. As the last one topples far to the south, you can hear a sickening crunch. Your score has just gone up by 2 points. What now? We'll save the game as push bookcase. Let's look at a score. You have so far scored 7 out of a possible 50 in 104 turns, meaning that you are just starting out. What now? After pushing the bookcase, I want to type in south. South, southern end of the library. You are at the southern end of the library amongst a heap of collapsed bookcases. A cold and damp breeze blows in from a broken French window to the west, while a library aisle leads north. You can see that all the strange glistening strands converge in the center of a large heap of rotting books that appear to have been made into a nest. Under one of the collapsed bookcases, you can see the body of a large slug. What now? So it must be a bookworm. Southern end of library. After going south, we want to examine the nest. Examine nest. In the large nest is a strange blue-eyed pearl. Wow. Get blue. Type in get blue. It's a blue eye-like pearl, I should have said. Next, after we get blue, we type in west. Street balcony. You are high above a street on an old stone balcony. Once, long ago, when this part of the city wasn't abandoned, the view from here would have been incredible. Now, instead of glittering lights and flashing signs, the view of an old boarded up shop, fronts, and ruined buildings. You can go back through the window to the east, or you can risk climbing up the outside wall. What now? So after going west, type in U. For up. Theater roof. You are high on the roof of the theater near a large chimney. All around you, the city is starting to light up for the oncoming sunset. The roof slopes off dangerously in all directions, but you know that you can safely go west to the balcony. Also, a chimney leads down. You can see a battered crow here. The crow shifts side to side. What now? Save the game as theater roof. After that, we want to save the game, which is what we have done already, but we'll double check. All right, theater roof.
Hello, this is Jeremy from Video Gamers Oasis on YouTube, speaking off the camera, and you've been watching, or we are playing, and you've been watching me play Theater, an interactive night of horror, copyright 1995 by Cave Rock Software Limited, all rights reserved. If you haven't already, please subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified of future videos. And if you feel inclined, send some likes and some super thanks as well. Thank you so much. I'll type in restore. Go back to the save folder where we last left off. And we're going to the theater roof. Look, theater roof. You are high on the roof of the theater, near a large chimney. All around you, the city is starting to light up for the oncoming sunset. The roof slopes off dangerously in all directions, but you know you can safely go west to the balcony. Also, a chimney leads down. You can see a battered crow here. The crow caws mournfully. Caw, caw. What now? Want to type in get crow. As you move towards it, the crow flies to safety down the chimney. What now? Now you want to type in down. D for down. Guest star room. This is a rather posh little suite, probably used by the theater's owner or perhaps by an occasional guest star actor. The room's furniture is of noticeably superior quality to the rest of the theater, with a fine 4-poster bed. A fireplace is in the western wall. A door leads back to the east. What now? Type in climb down chimney. Climb down chimney. Carefully you clamber down the sooty shaft. Sealed off office. This room was once an office, but all of the furniture has been removed, leaving only a small fireplace in the west wall. A door once led east from here, but you can see that it has been completely boarded up. In the middle of the room, straight out of a scene from a silly vampire movie, is an old-style wooden coffin with brass fittings on a mahogany stand. You can also see a battered crow here. What now? So we'll save our game as sealed off office. Sealed off office. So we'll rename this file It's actually this gameplay today is dated November 1st. Wasn't able to reveal this gameplay on Halloween like I expected to, but I had to take a little rest and take a break from that if I'm gaming. All right, November 1st. So once we've entered the sealed off office, we've encountered the open coffin. We've uncovered the old coffin. We want to type in open coffin. Open coffin. You're relieved to find that the coffin is empty. No, actually, looking closer, you can see that there is a key in there caught up in the lining. The crow looks inside the coffin and flies down into it. It then flies out with something shiny in its beak. Crows love shiny things. That's an additional little commentary. As the crow flies up the chimney with its new prize, it drops it. The crow promptly caws in annoyance. Caw, caw. And then continues up the chimney. What now? We open the coffin. We want to go D for down. Boiler room. You clamber down the shaft and you enter the boiler room. A huge boiler dominates this room. Its pipes extend through the walls, ensnaring them. A shaft from the boiler leads up, but strangely there seems to be no other exit out. Against one of the walls is large, dirty coal bin. You can also see a shiny key and a dirty wooden chest, brackets, which is closed. Here. What now? Let's see if our game has boiler room. And we dated it November 1st. Next we want to type in open chest, then get bottle. You open the dirty wooden chest, revealing a bottle of glue. Taken. What now? Let's save our game as boiler room, bottle, taken. Alright. We're going to type in get lump, then clean it. Get lump, then clean it. Okay, what's this say? What now? Get lump, then clean it. Taken. You rub off some of the coal dust and realize that it is not coal at all, but a strange violet eye like pearl. What now? And there's a big white pop-up screen that says, "He who defiles the tombs of Egypt shall surely perish." Pyramid of Doom, Alvin Files and Scott Adams. I don't know where this came from. I don't know if it's a little bit of a Easter egg game, part of the game. Okay, so let's move on here. Type in get key. Get key. Taken. Brackets or square brackets. Your score has just gone up by 2 points. What now? Let's look at our score. You have so far scored 9 out of a possible 50 in 120 turns, meaning you are just starting out. What now? We got the key. Now we want to type in U twice. U up for sealed up office. This room was once an office, but all of the furniture has been removed, leaving only a small fireplace in the west wall. A door once led east from here, but you can see that it has been completely boarded up.
In the middle of the room, straight out of a scene from a silly vampire movie, is an old style wooden coffin with brass fittings on a mahogany stand. What now? Now we type in U again, a second time. U, up. You clamber back up the shaft. Guest star room. This is a rather posh little suite, probably used by the theater's owner or perhaps by an occasional guest star actor. The room's furniture is of noticeably superior quality to the rest of the theater, with a fine 4-poster bed. A fireplace is in the western wall. A door leads back to the east. So after typing U twice, we want to type in E for east. E, east, north end of long corridor. This is a long wood paneled corridor that goes south from here. Doors lead north and west. What now? So we want to type in S for south. South, subheading reads center of long corridor. This is a long wood paneled corridor that goes north and south. A narrow little staircase leads down to the east from here, while a door goes west. What now? So after we've gone south already, want to go W, west. West is the costume room. Stepping into this room is like journeying back into another era. This room is filled with racks and racks of old costumes. The costumes range from Imperial Rome to World War I uniforms. An exit leads east. Bundled amongst some other scraps of clothing is an old gas mask. You can also see a mannequin dressed in a pirate costume, a mannequin dressed in a cowboy costume, and a mannequin dressed in a gladiatorial or gladiator costume here. What now? Let's save our game as costume room. After that, we want to type in get mask. Get mask. As you reach out to get the gas mask, the mannequins issue a loud hiss. The mannequins slowly begin to shuffle towards you. What now? Oh my. The mannequins are coming to life. Type in break bottle. The jar of glue shatters as you break it, splashing glue everywhere. The mannequins move closer, but as they cross the puddle of glue, they stop, unable to move their feet. Good thinking. So we want to type in get mask. Get mask. You slip past the mannequins and take the now unprotected gas mask. The mannequins hiss at you as they struggle against the glue. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 2 points. What now? And we'll save our game as costume room. Get mask. Alright, and we'll check our score. You have so far scored 11 out of a possible 50 in 128 turns, meaning you are getting into the game. Okay. Now we've opened the bottle. We've opened the what have we done? We've break the bottle, and we got the mask. Then we type in E. Let's type in E for east. Center of long corridor. This is a long wood-paneled corridor that goes north and south. A narrow little staircase leads down to the east from here, while a door goes west. What now? So after typing E, you want to type in south twice. South, south end of long corridor. This is a long wood paneled corridor that goes down from here. Goes north from here, pardon me. Doors lead south and west. And after that, we want to type in south a second time. Prop room. In here were stored many of these smaller props once used in the theater's production. Shelves full of junk line the walls. A door leads out to the north. An open trapdoor in the ceiling leads up. You can also see a piano here. What now? Save our game as prop room. Prop room. What now? Type in climb piano. Climb piano. You got onto the piano. After we climb the piano, we want to type in U and then north. Up, southern end of the attic. You have made your way up into the attic of the theater. Wooden studs and crossbeams make progress through the room difficult but not impossible. Cobwebs and thick dust line the area. The attic continues further to the north. An open trapdoor in the floor leads down. What now? After we go up, we want to go north. N for north. Attic above the theater. Dust coats the cross beams and covers the thinly plastered floor here. Looking through the cracks in some of the plaster, you can see that you are high above the theater auditorium itself. The attic continues south from here. All to the north, you notice a curious construction. Supported on the floor by a couple of sturdy cross beams is a large winch with a handle. From the winch, a thick cable runs down through a hole in the floor. The cable extends down to the theater floor. What now? So after we go U and then north, we want to type in wear mask. Wear mask. You put on the old gas mask. Then we type in north. Attic observatory. You conclude that this must be some kind of observatory. After all, what else could it be? However, why is it that instead of the usual dome, the roof just has a strangely patterned window? Also, instead of the normal studs and cross beams, the exposed wooden beams of the walls are set at bizarre angles. It gives you the impression that you are inside a large, multi-sided, mathematical shape. An opening leads south. Completing the scene is a large, strangely shaped telescope. A green gas is pouring out of it. A strange greenish gas pours out of the telescope. The gas mask protects you from the gas. What now? It's a good thing we have that gas mask on. And we type in, we've already typed in north, we want to type put lens in telescope. Put lens in telescope. Returning the lens stops the flow of the gas. What now? Next, we want to type in, I want to save our game first. Theater observatory. Observatory, and we'll type in return lens. And we'll save that game. So after we put the lens in the telescope, we'll type in drop mask. We don't need it anymore. What now? Drop mask. Brackets. First, taking the old gas mask off. You take off the old gas mask. Dropped. You breathe a little easier now. What now? I'm going to type in look In telescope. Okay, this is interesting. This is an in-depth number of paragraphs. You look in the telescope. As you gaze through the telescope, the pattern lens seems to cancel out the pattern window, as well as the greenish gas, giving you a clear view of the night sky. You suddenly realize that the sun hasn't set yet, but you can clearly make out all the various stars. Wait a second. ... The stars are moving. They are moving aside to let something else come up from beyond them. An intensely alien presence awaits, tearing at the very fabric of the physical universe, waiting for something to happen to let it in. A cold chill runs down your spine as you realize that the presence has turned its attention to you. You can feel its scrutiny as its eyes focus on you. With a muffled cry, you recoil back from the telescope, collapsing on the floor. Monstrous thoughts bombard your mind as you flail on the floor. An overwhelming feeling of anticipation overcomes you. A sense of impending freedom. A longing for vengeance. A hunger for your very soul. You scream out loud in an attempt to block the flood of emotions, but you cannot. To escape the steady flow of nightmares, your mind mercifully collapses into unconsciousness. You awake later and struggle to your feet. You notice you are carrying something new amongst your possessions. Square brackets, more. What is it? No, it doesn't say. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 5 points. And I will save this as Theater Observatory. And we'll rename this file as Cosmic Horror. Yes, cosmic horror. There is an element of a Lovecraftian theme in the story. Some kind of entity that breaks through the very fabric of the universe. So where did we do? We looked in the telescope. Now we want to go south twice. South. Attic above the theater. Dust coats the crossbeams and covers the thinly plastered floor here. Looking through the cracks in some of the plaster, you can see that you are high above the theater auditorium itself. The attic continues south from here, while to the north you notice a curious construction. Supported on the floor by a couple of sturdy crossbeams is a large winch with a handle. From the winch, a thick cable runs down through a hole in the floor. The cable extends down to the theater floor. Then we want to go south a second time. Southern end of the attic. We've already described what it looks like. It's pretty full of cobwebs and spider webs and dust. Next we want to go D for down. Prop room, we've been there already. Then we want to go to, we've already gone down. Now we want to go north. South end of long corridor. Then we go north a second time. Center of long corridor. And we want to go north a third time. North end of long corridor. And a fourth time north. Sick bay. This small room seems to be reserved for medical emergencies. The walls are covered with old medical posters giving cheerful descriptions on how to heal cuts, tend to burns, and deliver babies? Question mark, exclamation point.
Healthy people can leave to the south. There is a bed here for the infirm. On the bed are a letter and a small glass vial, brackets in which is a clear blue liquid. You can also see a medical cabinet, brackets, which is closed here. What now? We'll save our game as sick bay. Okay. After we've gone through all that, we've entered the sick bay. We're going to type in open cabinet. Open cabinet. You open the medical cabinet, revealing a loose page, some painkiller tablets, and a stethoscope. What now? So what we're going to do now is going to save our game as sick bay and open cabinet. All right, so we've saved our game in the sick bay. We'll take a quick break and we'll continue very soon. Don't go away. Hi, this is Jeremy speaking off the camera, and this is Video Gamers Oasis on YouTube, and we're playing Theater, an interactive night of horror text adventure game. Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell if you haven't already. Send some likes, share with your friends, and also, if you feel inclined, do a super thanks. Thanks so much. We're going to restore our game where we last left off. I had to take a quick break. So we're going back to the theater sick bay. Open cabinet. So let's look. Sick bay. This small room seems to be reserved for medical emergencies. The walls are covered with old medical posters giving cheerful descriptions on how to heal cuts, tend to burns, and deliver babies. Healthy people can leave to the south. There is a bed here for the infirm. On the bed are a letter and a small glass vial, brackets, in which is a clear blue liquid. You can also see a medical cabinet, brackets, in which are a loose page, comma, some painkiller tablets, and a stethoscope. Here. What now? So we've already saved the game, the room, we've already saved the sick bay, and we've opened the cabinet. Now we want to get page. Type in get page, comma, tablets, comma, stethoscope from cabinet. Loose page removed. Painkiller tablets removed. Stethoscope removed. What now? Save. We'll save this as sick bay items taken. See, once we've taken the loose page, the painkiller, and the stethoscope, we want to type in get vial. Get vial. All right, we've taken the vial, and then we want to read letter. The letter says the following, quote unquote. Here's what the letter says. Greetings, comma. By now you will have realized that you are trapped here, never to escape. Take some comfort, if you can, in the fact that it isn't your fault. You were at the wrong place at the wrong time. If you must blame anyone, blame Reinhardt. He was foolish enough to try to resist me, and he died as a result. Now you take his place. For you, however, I offer some hope. In the vial beside the letter is a potion. Drinking it will render you senseless, and your final destiny will be much less painful. Your death will provide me with the key to infinite knowledge. Mankind is not the first race to hold mastery over this planet. Earth's former masters lie dormant now, but your very soul will awaken one, and it will teach me things you could never dream of. And it's signed E. Dot. What now? There's a square brackets more as well. And nothing else after that. So let's save our game as sickbay items taken, and we'll save that again just so we can have some progress here. After we read the letter, we want to type in south. North end of long corridor. Then we want to go south again. Center of long corridor. Then we want to go east twice. East. Tight stairway. This narrow little stairway winds its way up to the west and down to the east. And a strange piano medley can be heard very faintly from above. What now? That's a new development. After that, we want to type in east the second time. Cramped hallway. Boxes of junk line the walls, making the narrow hallway even more difficult to navigate through. Doors lead south and west, while the hallway continues north. What now? So we want to go south after that. Manager's office. Judging from the desk and lots of papers everywhere, this must have been the manager's office. Doors lead to the southeast and to the north. There is an open trapdoor in the floor. You can also see your pager and a closed metal safe here. What now? So now we want to save our game as manager's office, because we have to deal with the safe now. We'll save that. Now we want to wear stethoscope. Wear stethoscope. You put on the stethoscope. Type in turn dial left. Click dot 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 click dot 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 click dot 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 clunk dot dot dot. Okay. So after we turn the dial left, we want to turn dial right. Type in turn dial right. Click dot 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 click dot 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 clunk dot dot dot. And after we turn right, we want to turn dial left. Turn dial left. Click dot 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 Click. Dot dot dot. Click. Dot dot dot. Click. Dot dot dot. Click. Dot dot dot. Clunk. Dot dot dot. And after that, after we turn the dial left, we want to turn dial right. Turn dial right. That would be the logical direction. Click, dot dot dot. Click, dot dot dot. Click, dot dot dot. Clunk, dot dot dot. Rumble, dot dot dot. The door swings open. Looking inside the safe, you can see a strange red-eyed pearl. A red eye-like pearl, pardon me. Which you take. The safe door swings shut, seemingly of its own accord. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 1 point. What now? You want to drop stethoscope. First, taking the stethoscope off. You take off the stethoscope and dropped. Now you want to open desk. You open the manager's desk, revealing a loose page and some architect's plans. What now? Type in get page, comma, plans from desk. Get page and plans from desk. Loose page removed. Architect's plans removed. What now? We want to examine plans. The plans are for the front end of the theater. Commissioned by Nelson, Meldrew, and Grams. In 1955, they covered an extension to the front of the theater. Strange. According to the plans, there is a ticket booth to the south of the office. Actually, looking closer at the wall, you can see where the southern wall has been plastered over. You would never have been able to spot it if you hadn't looked at the plans. Let's save our progress. Just in case something happens, we can always go back to it. Save, and we'll save this items and plans. Alright. So after we examine the plans, we want to type in drop plans. Drop plans. Dropped. And want to type in kick south wall. Brackets the plastered over southern wall. The plaster breaks away, leaving an exit to the south. You recoil away as a pocket of rotten, smelling air is expelled from the newly formed opening. Ooh, gross. What now? You want to type in south. Sealed up ticket booth. This is a small room that has been sealed up. The windows have been boarded over, but faint light enters through cracks. The booth smells very bad, like old, rotten meat. Obviously the source of the smell. You can see a human skeleton lying in a ragged heap in the corner. You can also see a loose page here. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 2 points. What now? It's like a scene from a Edgar Allan Poe short story, The Cask of Amontillado, I believe. So we'll save this as sealed up ticket booth. Sealed up ticket booth. We'll save that. After we do that, let's see what here. After we've gone south, we type in get page. Taken. We'll take it as ticket booth, sealed up ticket booth, page taken. Alright, save that. And we'll type in examine. Examine skeleton. Amongst the bones, you can see some old rags and an old pocket watch. What now? Examine rags. Once, these rags would have been an old usher's uniform, but now they are just rags. What now? Want to examine watch. Examine watch. Actually, it looks like a pretty, flashy pocket watch for its age, and it has a little dial on it. It currently says it is about 3:40, but the time is wrong, because the watch has stopped. What now? So after we examine the watch, type in pull dial. You pull the little dial out of the watch a little bit. And we want to turn dial. The hour hand turns around. Brackets. You notice that the minute hand is jammed. The watch now says it is 4:40. So we want to turn the dial again. Turn dial once. Or a second time. The hour hand turns around. Brackets, you notice that the minute hand is jammed. The watch now says it is 5:40. What now? Turn the dial a third time. Turn dial. The hour hand turns around. Brackets, you notice that the minute hand is jammed. The watch now says it is 6:40. Now we want to turn the dial again. This will be the last time, I think. The hour hand turns around. Brackets, you notice that the minute hand is jammed. The watch now says it is 7:40. What now? Now, after that, we want to type in north. Manager's office. Judging from the desk and lots of papers everywhere, this must have been the manager's office. Doors lead to the southeast and to the north, while a hole in the wall leads south. There is an open trapdoor in the floor. You can also see some architect's plans, a stethoscope, your pager, and a closed metal safe here. What now? So after going north, we want to go southeast to the theater lobby. This room is a tribute to the now faded glory of the theater. The still, smiling faces of forgotten productions stare out from faded posters at you. An old, grand staircase leads up, while the exit lies to the south. Small, private doors lead northeast and northwest. The light shining down from the circular window above you has created a faint spotlight with a curious pattern on the floor. You can also see 6 loose pages. Reinhardt's corpse, brackets, in whom is an appointment book, and 4 lots of old, stale popcorn here. What now? So after we go southeast, we're going to type in drop all. Loose page dropped. Loose page dropped. Strange red eye like pearl dropped. Small glass vial dropped. Painkiller tablets dropped. Loose page dropped. Star crystal dropped. Shiny key dropped. Strange violet-eyed like pearl dropped. Strange blue eye like pearl dropped. Loose page dropped. Loose page dropped. And loose page dropped. Now I want to save the game as theater, and we'll save this as lobby. New items, including pearls. So we'll save our game and we'll continue on in just a few minutes after taking a quick break. This is Jeremy from Video Gamers Oasis on YouTube speaking, and welcome. We've been playing Theater, an Interactive Night of Horror text adventure game. We're continuing where we left off. Restore game. We're going back to the theater lobby where we left off. New items including pearl. Look. Theater lobby. This room is a tribute to the now faded glory of the theater. The still smiling faces of forgotten productions stare out from faded posters at you. An old grand staircase leads up, while the exit lies to the south. Small private doors lead northeast and northwest. Now we've dropped the blue liquid, the star crystal, the shiny key, the 12 loose pages, some painkiller tablets, a small glass vial, which has the blue liquid, Reinhardt's corpse with the appointment book, the old stale popcorn, 4 lots of it, a strange blue eye like pearl, a strange violet eye like pearl, and a strange red eye like pearl here. Now we want to type in U. We're up. Staircase landing. Here the grand staircase splits to the east and the west. You can also go back down to the south. A huge portrait dominates the northern wall. The painted door in it is open, showing a passage to the north. You can also see an old ticket here. So now we want to type in get all. Old ticket taken. We'll save this game as staircase landing. Old ticket taken. All right. Now you want to type in north. Secret gallery. This is a cramped, dimly lit room, empty but for the row of pictures that are on the walls. A small door leads south. You can see a loose page and an old-fashioned camera here. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 1 point. What now? Type in get all. Loose page taken. Old-fashioned camera taken. What now? I'm going to save our game as secret gallery. Secret gallery, and we'll save this as loose page and old camera. Taken. Save again, just to make sure. Next, we want to go south. Staircase landing. Here, the grand staircase splits to the east and the west. You can also go back down to the south. A huge portrait dominates the northern wall. The painted door in it is open, showing a passage to the north. What now? So after going south, we're going to go east. Eastern landing. This landing circles around the upper level of the lobby, allowing you to see down into it. The landing continues south and west, where it goes down the lobby stairs. A set of double doors lead north to the theater auditorium itself, while a single, finely carved wooden door leads east. After going south and then east, we want to type in N for north. Eastern Theater Aisle. This aisle runs north and south through the large theater auditorium, where you are surrounded by a sea of seats. Another aisle is to the west, while the stage is to the north. Double doors lead south. The chandelier has been lowered to ground level for easy access. You hear a faint whisper from out of the darkness. Quote unquote, tickets, please. What now? You want to type in drop ticket. Drop ticket. A whisper echoes around you. Quote unquote, enjoy the show. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 2 points. Let's save our game. As Eastern Theater Aisle. Eastern Theater Aisle. Tickets. Ticket given. All right. Let's look at our score. You have so far scored 22 out of a possible 50 in 189 turns, meaning that you are making steady progress. Excellent. After we drop the ticket, we want to type in north twice. So north, stage. Here you stand upon a stage that once would have been graced by the finest thespians in the country. However, now the only players upon this stage are the spiders who spin the cobwebs. and who act out that never-ending saga of life, death, and life again. Anyway, to the southeast and southwest aisles wind their way through the endless sea of seats. To the north is the backstage area, while down to the south is the orchestra pit. What now? Let's save our game as stage. So we've gone north once, we want to go north a second time. Backstage. A jumble of supports, ropes, and curtains divide the backstage into a maze of compartments. The general clutter isn't helped by the rolls and rolls of canvas scenery backdrops. The stage doors leading north have been boarded over, and you can see that the remains of stairs leading up have been pulled down, so only the exit seems to be back south to the stage. You can see a loose page here. What now? Save our game as backstage. Okay. So you want to type in drop ticket. Drop ticket. Dropped. And get page. Taken. The loose page taken. What now? And then examine rope, then climb it. Examine rope, then climb it. Actually looking up, you notice that the ropes go near some doors set into the western wall high above you. You clamber up the rope. ... Up the ropes. You are suspended about 5 meters above the stage. Clinging on to one of the many ropes, across a narrow space, you can see some doors set in the west wall that would have once led into a landing. Brackets which is long since gone. One of the doors is very close by. What now? Save our game as up the ropes. Then, after we climb the rope, we want to type in west. Dressing room. This room was probably once an old dressing room, but it is hard to tell as scuff marks on the floor are the only traces of the room's original furniture left. A door leads east, back to the rope. You can see an old locker, brackets, which is closed, here. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 1 point. What now? Let's save our game as dressing room. Dressing room. So we've gone west. Now we want to type in open locker. Open locker. As you open the locker, you hear a nasty hiss. Inside is an ancient amulet, an old newspaper clipping, and a coiled serpent. What now? We've opened the locker. We discovered a serpent. We want to type in push locker east. Push locker east. Push locker east. You give the locker a sturdy push. Up the ropes. You are suspended about 5 meters above the stage, clinging on to one of the many ropes. Across a narrow space, you can see some doors set in the west wall that would once lead into a landing. Brackets which is long since gone. One of the doors is very close by. As the locker goes over the doorway, it tips and then falls down to the stage below with a loud crunch. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 2 points. What now? So we will save this game. Up the ropes. Up the ropes. I will add locker pushed. All right. After we pushed east, the locker, you want to type in D for down. Backstage. You clamber down back to safety. ... A jumble of supports, ropes, and curtains divide the backstage into a maze of compartments. The general clutter isn't helped by the rolls and rolls of canvas scenery backdrops. The stage doors leading north have been boarded over, and you can see that the remains of stairs leading up have been pulled down, so only the exit seems to be back south to the stage. You can see an old newspaper clipping, an ancient amulet, a broken locker, and an old ticket here. What now? After we type D for down, we want to type in read newspaper. Read newspaper. It seems to be a cutout of a review of a theater show. As you quickly read it through, one section in particular seems to stand out. ... But the highlight of the show must have been the performance of the halftime act of Markalax, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Master of Magics. His acts of illusion and prestidigitation were simply wondrous and astounding to behold. Fortunately, this reviewer had time to interview Marcelax after the show. When complimented on his performance, Marcelax modestly informed this reviewer that his success was partly due to the setting itself. To quote him, quote, ... This very theater seems to be a storehouse of mystical energy. Normally, when an abundance of mystical energy is centered in one place, it will condense into crystals of immense powers. But here, in this theater, it seems to be dispersed into the very walls. However, one must still be careful. If I was not protected by the enchantments weaved into my protecting medallion, my very soul could be in jeopardy. Anyway, despite that rhetoric, we can expect great things to come of this performer. How odd. What now? Alright, we read the newspaper, and then we type in wear amulet. Wear amulet. Brackets, first taking the ancient amulet, taken. Brackets, continuing with original command. You put on the ancient amulet. You catch a glimpse of something moving in the corner of your eye. However, when you whirl around, there is nothing there. What now? Let's save our game. As up the ropes, locker, and we'll say type in amulet. So after that, after we got the amulet on, we're going to type in south twice. South. Stage. Here you stand upon a stage that once would have been graced by the finest thespians in the country. Pretty well repetition. So we'll move on south again. Orchestra pit. The depression would have been too small for anything but the most basic of orchestras. Looking about, you can see why this is called a pit. You can go back up to the stage or east to some walk-in storage cupboards. What now? Let's save our game as Orchestra Pit. So we've gone south twice. Now we want to go east twice. Type in east, E for east. Pit cupboards. It is very dark inside the cupboards here. You imagine that this is where the orchestra used to keep its equipment, but there is no sign of it here now. The cupboards are empty except for the shadowy gloom. The orchestra pit itself lies to the west, and a gap in the east wall leads east. What now? And we'll type in east again. What now? East. A shadow forms out of the gloom and stops you, driving you back with a wave of cold air. What now? We want to take picture. Take picture. As you take the photo, there is a burst of bright light as the flash goes off. The shadow creature gives a loud scream and vanishes. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 2 points. What now? Drop camera. Drop camera. Dropped. What now? I'm going to type in E for east. Dark place. This is a very dark place, and you can barely make out passages heading west and northwest. Let's save our game as dark place. All right. After we've gone east, then we want to go northwest. Under the stage, light filters through from the cracks on the boards above you that form the stage. It is quite cramped here, and you have to bend over slightly as you walk to avoid hitting your head on the low ceiling. A passage leads southeast from here into darkness. Littered on the ground are various small items that seem to have fallen through the cracks above you. You can also see a loose page here. What now? Let's save our game as under the stage. Under the stage. All right. Let's examine. Type in examine items. Looking through the stuff, you see little of interest. Some coins, a pencil, little bits of paper, and a strange green eye-like pearl. What now? Type in get page, pardon me, get green and page. So get green, comma, page. Strange green eye-like pearl taken. Loose page taken. Let's see our game as theater under the stage. Green pearl and page. We'll save our progress there. Next we're going to go southeast. Dark place. This is a very dark place. You can barely make out passages heading west and northwest. After we go southeast, we want to type in west twice. So west, pit cupboards, old-fashioned camera where we dropped it. Then we type west again, orchestra pit. Nothing new there. And then we want to type in N for north. Stage, nothing new. I want to type in southeast then. Southeast. Eastern Theater aisle. This aisle runs north and south through the large theater auditorium, where you are surrounded by a sea of seats. Another aisle is to the west, while the stage is to the north. Double doors lead south. The chandelier has been lowered to ground level for easy access. So after we go southeast, type in south. Eastern landing. This landing circles around the upper level of the lobby, allowing you to see down into it. The landing continues south and west, where it goes down the lobby stairs. A set of double doors lead north to the theater auditorium itself, while a single finely carved wooden door leads east. What now? So after we went south, we want to type in west. Staircase landing. Here the grand staircase splits to the east and the west. You can also go back down to the south. A huge portrait dominates the northern wall. The painted door in it is open, showing a passage to the north. What now? So after we go west, we want to type in D for down. Theater lobby. This room is a tribute to the now faded glory of the theater. The still smiling faces of forgotten productions stare out from the faded posters at you. An old grand staircase leads up, while the exit lies to the south. Small private doors lead northeast and northwest, and the light shining down from the circular window above you has created a faint spotlight with a curious pattern on the floor. There are also items on the floor: 12 loose pages, a shiny key, a star crystal, some painkiller tablets, a small glass vial, brackets in which is a clear blue liquid, Reinhardt's corpse, brackets in whom is an appointment book, 4 lots of old stale popcorn, a strange blue eye like pearl, a strange violet eye like pearl, and a strange red eye like pearl here. After we type in D, we want to type in get all. Small glass vial taken. Painkiller tablets taken. Loose page taken. Loose page taken. Shiny key taken. Loose page taken. Loose page taken. Star crystal taken. Loose page taken. Loose page taken. Loose page taken. Loose page taken. Reinhardt's corpse. You drag poor Reinhardt over your shoulder. Loose page taken. Loose page taken. Loose page taken. Old stale popcorn. You scoop up the popcorn. Square brackets more. And strange blue eye like pearl taken. Strange violet eye like pearl taken. Strange red eye like pearl taken. And after we get all, we want to save the game. And we'll save this as theater lobby. All items taken. And we'll save our game. We'll take a brief break because we have really obtained a lot of things here. Let's have a quick look at our score. You have so far scored 27 out of a possible 50 in 220 turns, meaning that you are making steady progress. What now? Take a quick break, and we will continue on in a few minutes. Hello, this is Jeremy from Video Gamers Oasis speaking, and you're watching my gameplay of Theater, an interactive night of horror. It's a retro text-adventure game made originally in 1995. Let's continue where we left off. So we're going to type in restore to go back to where we last left off. Saves. We're going to theater lobby. All items, including pearls. All new. I think it's called theater lobby. All items taken. So let's look. Theater lobby. This room is a tribute to the now faded glory of the theater. The still smiling faces of forgotten productions stare out from faded posters at you.
An old grand staircase leads up, while the exit lies to the south. Small private doors lead northeast and northwest. The light shining down from the circular window above you has created a faint spotlight with a curious pattern on the floor. What now? Let's check our inventory, or I for inventory. You are carrying 4 lots of old stale popcorn. Let's start that again. You are carrying 4 lots of old stale popcorn. 15 loose pages, Reinhardt's corpse, inside whom is an appointment book. A star crystal, a shiny key, some painkiller tablets, a small glass vial inside which is a clear blue liquid, an ancient amulet being worn, a strange red eye-like pearl, a strange violet eye-like pearl, a strange blue-like pearl, and strange green eye-like pearl. We got 15 pages, I believe. I think they got the amulet. It's being worn, so we are on top of the game now. So now we know what we're doing. Let's check our score. You have so far scored 27 out of a possible 50 in 222 turns, meaning that you are making steady progress. And we have the green, the strange blue-eyed pearl and the strange green eye-like pearl. Yes, we got that. So now that we've got that, we've saved our game. We want to type in NE for northeast. Cloakroom. Once people would have hung up their coats and hats here, but now the hooks lining the walls are home only for cobwebs. The lobby lies to the southwest. What now? Type in examine, hooks. Cobwebs cover the whole row of dirty hooks. Looking closer, you see that one is a lot cleaner than the others. What now? Want to type in pull, clean, hook. Pull, clean, hook. Dun dun dun. A secret passage opens. A secret passage leading down. This is great. You can slap a couple of grand into the price tag. What now? This could definitely be useful. Have a secret passage door. Type in, let's type in save. And we'll save us as cloakroom. Cloak room secret door, and we will save this as November 2nd because this game has taken at least 3 days to complete. It's actually taking longer than expected. Save our game. Now now that we pulled the hook, cleaned the hook and the clean hook, open the secret door, we want to go D. Type in D for down. Secret stairway. This is an old secret stairway that leads up and down. The area is feebly lit by electrical lights set in the roof. You can see a loose page here. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 1 point. What now? We want to after we go downstairs, we want to type in get page taken. We want to save our game as secret stairway. Secret stairway. Get page. So now that we've obtained that page, we're going to go down again, further down. Underground passage. This is a miserably dank underground passage lined by old brick walls. The passage heads up to the west and continues to the east to a locked iron door. What now? Save the game as underground passage. Underground passage. All right. So we've gone down already. We've encountered the underground passage, and we also see a locked iron door. You want to type in unlock door with key. The iron door with the shiny key. You unlock the iron door. What now? You want to type in open door. Brackets the iron door. You open the iron door. What now? After you open the door, type in drop key. Dropped. What now? Type in E for east. Above the pit, in the center of this huge cavern-like room, is a large pit, somewhat reminding you of an empty indoor swimming pool. A passage heads off to the west to an open iron door, while inside the pit you can see a passage leading down to the east. You can see a loose page here. A savage roar issues forth from the pit. What now? Oh my. Sounds like some kind of creature is in the bottom of that pit. So let's save our game as above. What's it called again? Above the pit. Save as above the pit. And we'll save that game. Next, we want to type in get page. The loose page taken. You can hear some sort of growling beast in the pit. What now? Next, we want to pour liquid on body. You pour the poison all over Reinhardt's dead body. You can see it soak into his clothes. You can hear some sort of growling beast in the pit. What now? Next, we want to throw body in pit. Oh, this is a little of a pop-up screen here. A white pop-up screen. A quotation by Bertolt Brecht. B-E-R-T-O-O-L-T. Last name B-R-E-C-H-T. And this individual said, "Don't rejoice in his defeat, you men, for though the world stood up and stopped the bastard, semicolon, the bitch that bore him is in heat again." Wow. Spicy words. All right, moving on. After throw body in pit, Reinhardt's corpse disappears into the pit. You can hear some awful crunching sounds, like bone grinding on bones, coming down from the pit, followed by something like a mixture of a yawn and a howl. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 3 points. What now? Next, we want, after we throw the body in the pit, we want to type in drop vial. Okay, I misspelled vial. Drop, it says I can't see any such thing because I misspelled vial. I typed in bile instead of vial. Let's type in drop vial with a V. Dropped. Okay, so we dropped the vial. What now? Type in D. Inside pit. The rough walls of the pit make an easy climb up and out of here. A gloomy tunnel heads east. What now? So let's type in save as inside pit. We're safely inside the pit. I don't think the monster will be troubling us anytime anymore. Side pit. All right, once we've gone down, then we type in east. Tunnel junction. You are at a junction in a little network of tunnels. One tunnel heads west back to the pit, while others branch northeast, southeast, and southwest. You can see a loose page here. What now? Next, we want to type in get page taken. What now? Let's save our game as Tunnel Junction. tunnel junction and get page. Okay, so now that we've obtained that page in the tunnel junction, I'm going to type in save game. I only understand you as far as wanting to save. You don't need to say save game, just type in save and resave that file. There you go. Next, so we've saved our file. We want to type in SW for Southwest. Mine shaft. And there's a little pop-up screen on the game, a white box with black text that reads, "This is not a maze." Thank you for letting me know. I wouldn't know that unless you told me. Mine shaft. You are in something that looks very much like a mine shaft. In the dim electrical light, you can just make out rough walls and not much else. Tunnels lead in all directions. What now? Save our game as mine shaft. Mine shaft. Okay, so we're in the mine shaft. We've typed in SW, now we want to type in D for down. Deep in the mines. You are much deeper in the mine shaft here. The area has been widened out into a cavern, and there are signs that some major excavations occurred here. A large cage dominates the area. Inside the cage is a curious, goblin-like creature. It appeared to be resting, but as you entered, it awoke and sniggered at you with a surprisingly soft voice. "Dig, dig, dig," say the creature. "That's all I ever seem to do. Did learn lots about rocks and stones, though. They talked to me while I slept." What now? Let's save our game. We'll save our game as deep in the mines, and we'll add the word goblin in big letters so we know what we're dealing with here. We've gone D. We want to type in, is his name Trent, I guess? So we type in show violet to Trent. The creature looks closer at the gem. "Oh, that is one of the eyes of power, which guards the lady's most prized treasure. That one is the eye of strength. It is the right eye. It is the right hand of all the other eyes." "Dig, dig, dig," say the creature. "That's all I ever seem to do. Did learn lots about rocks and stones, though. They talked to me while I slept." What now? Now we want to type in show blue to Trent. The creature looks closer at the gem. "Oh, that is one of the eyes of power, which guards the lady's most prized treasure. That one is the eye of wisdom. It stands beside strength to help balance the other eyes." "Dig, dig, dig," says the creature. "That's all I ever seem to do. Did learn lots about rocks and stones, though. They talked to me while I slept." What now? After we show the violet and blue stone, we want to type in show red to Trent. The creature look closer at the gem. "Oh, that is one of the eyes of power, which guards the lady's most prized treasure. That one is the eye of mana. It forms the foundation of all the other eyes." What now? All right. Next, we want to type in show green to Trent. The creature looks closer at the gem. "Oh, that is one of the eyes of power, which guards the lady's most prized treasure. That one is the eye of control. It stands above the other eyes. What now? All right, so we've shown the violet, the blue, the red, and the green stones to the goblin. Next, you want to type in U for up. Mine shaft. You are in something that looks very much like a mine shaft. In the dim electrical light, you can just make out rough walls and not much else. Tunnels lead in all directions. Next, we're going to type in NE for northeast. Tunnel junction. Network of tunnels. Nothing new has changed, but one tunnel heads west back to the pit, while others branch northeast, southeast, and southwest. After going northeast, we want to type in southeast. Western end of sewer. You have reached the western end of a large sewage draining trench. Excuse me. Sewage draining trench that continues east quite some smelly distance. A passageway leads northwest, back under the theater. This end of the trench seems to terminate at a large sluice gate that opens into a drain leading further down into the muck. What now? So we've gone southeast. We want to save our game as western end of sewer. Western end of sewer. Okay, so we've gone southeast. We're going to type in drop popcorn. Drop popcorn. Dropped. Then we would type in east. Center of sewer. You appear to be in the center of the drainage trench, which leads east and west from here. Above you, to the north, is a strange metal platform. What now? Save game, for sure. We'll save this as center of sewer. This is definitely important. So after we go east, we're at the center of sewer. And we typed east already. We want to type in drop popcorn. Drop popcorn. Dropped. What now? Next we want to type in east again. Eastern end of sewer. Here the drainage trench ends at a junction of small pipes, each impassable. The trench leads west while a tunnel leads southeast. What now? Save our game as eastern end of sewer. Eastern end of sewer. After we've done that already, we're at the eastern end of sewer. We've dropped the popcorn twice already. We want to type in east again. You can't go that way. My mistake. Should have typed in drop popcorn. Dropped. What now? Next, we're going to type in SE for southeast. Rat nest. This small northwest-southeast tunnel is covered in rotting sewage and animal droppings. The tunnel ends at an unusual archway to the southeast. From out of the debris, several rats swarm, angrily squeaking at you with shrill little voices. Let's save our game as Rat's Nest. Very airy, icky stuff here. Rats. Rat nest. Okay, so we're at the rat nest now. We typed in southeast already. Next we want to drop in the popcorn again. Drop popcorn. Drop. With squeals of delight, the rats consume the popcorn. What now? Well, at least I gave them a snack to distract them with. Next, I want to type in, after dropping the popcorn, I want to type in northwest. Eastern end of sewer. Here, the drainage trench ends at a junction of small pipes, each impassable. The trench leads west, while a tunnel leads southeast. You can see some old stale popcorn here. A large swarm of rats scurries out of the southeastern tunnel, their noses twitching excitedly. What now? So after we go northwest, we want to type in west. Center of sewer. You appear to be in the center of the drainage trench, which leads east and west from here. Above you, to the north, is a strange metal platform. To the east, you can see a swarm of nasty little rats. You can also see some old stale popcorn here. In the distance, you can see the rats are eating something. What now? After we type in west, we're going to type in north. Metal platform. You are on a metal platform, which grants a clear view of the entire sewer. Brackets for what it is worth. That lies down to the south. Below you, at the eastern end of the drainage ditch, you can see a swarm of nasty little rats. From out of the roof extends a long, rusty lever. You can see the rats scurry west, so that they are now just below you. What now? Let's save our game as metal platform. Metal platform. And there's a lever there. So what we want to do is want to type in examine lever. You imagine the lever operates by pulling it. In the distance, you can see the rats are eating something. What now? After examining the lever, type in wait until rats are at western end. So type in wait. Wait. Time passes. The rats move away to the western end of the sewer. What now? Let's save our game as metal platform. Type in rats at the word rats. Move away. So now we've gotten rid of the rats. Now that has been established, I want to type in pull lever. Pull lever. The lever slowly gives as you pull it. You hear a grinding sound from the west and realize that the sluice gate is opening. There are loud, sloshing noises as hundreds of liters of sewage pour through the gate into the trench, sweeping up the rats and flushing them down the drain. The lever slowly slides back into position as the gate automatically closes. What now? So we pulled the lever. Next, we want to type in south. Center of sewer. You appear to be in the center of a drainage trench, which leads east and west from here. Above you to the north is a strange metal platform. What now? After we typed in south, we're going to type in east. Eastern end of sewer. Nothing new has happened. The trench leads west with the tunnel leading southwest, east, and the drainage trench ends at a junction of small pipes, each impassable. So I've just read that again. So let's go to southeast. Rat nest. This small northwest southeast tunnel is covered in rotting sewage and animal droppings. The tunnel ends at an unusual archway to the southeast. What now? So after we type in southeast, we're going to type in southeast a second time. Witch's lair. Dun dun dun. Beyond the archway lies a small circular room of red brick, shaped oddly enough like an Eskimo's igloo. Dominating the center of the room is an old iron cauldron filled with an unknown bubbling liquid. All around the walls are shelves filled with curious little vials and other knickknacks that seem to give you the impression of a witch's secret laboratory or the like. The only exit appears to be back to the northwest through the archway. To the side of the room against the wall is a large bronze statue of a female with 4 arms. The statue is holding a jeweled dagger. You can also see a loose page here. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 3 points. What now? So let's save our game as Witch's Lair. The hidden room underground from the theater near the sewer. So type in Witch's Lair. Alright, save our game. Square, what does it say here? The square brackets pager goes off on move 250. Let's check our score. You have so far scored 34 out of a possible 50 in 266 turns, meaning that you are doing very well. All right, let's keep moving. Type in get page. Get page taken. What now? Want to save the game. Save as Witch's Lair. Yes. What's our inventory? You're carrying the 19 loose pages, a star crystal, some painkiller tablets, an ancient amulet, brackets being worn, the Eye of Mana, the Eye of Strength, the Eye of Wisdom, and the Eye of Control. We've saved our game. Now, apparently we have to put the stones in order. So let's look. Beyond the archway lies a small circular room of brick. Let's skip to the statue. To the side of the room against the wall is a large bronze statue of a female with 4 arms. The statue is holding a jeweled dagger. What now? Save, which is Lair statue. Now I'm going to quickly restore the game to the part with the goblin, just so I can get all the information that I need. So I'm going back to the theater, mineshaft, goblin. Or whatever it's called. Here we go. Deep in the mines. Let's look. Deep in the mines. You are much deeper in the mine shaft here. Inside the cage is a goblin-like creature. The creature paces back and forth in the cage. Inventory. I was once like you, the creature says in a surprisingly soft voice. So it really doesn't matter what color you use. Just make sure that it's in the right order. Show red to Trent. Oh, that is one of the eyes of power, which guards the lady's most prized treasure. That one is the Eye of Mana, and it forms the foundation of all the other eyes. You know, I'm getting the impression you don't have to put them in order. You just got to give it to the... Or wait a second. That is not what's supposed to happen. So let's... Just a moment here. We're supposed to put in the colors in order. So, the Eyes of Power... The Eye of Mana, it forms the foundation of all the other eyes. Show red to Trent. So, red goes to the bottom socket. Next, show blue. Oh, that is one of the eyes of power. That one is the eye of wisdom. It stands beside strength to help balance the other eyes. Well, where does strength go? Show violet. That is the eye of strength. It is the right hand of all the other eyes. So we will type in, we'll first of all write this out. Violet. Violet goes to the right. Right eye. Okay, so far red goes in the bottom, violet goes to the right, blue, show blue to Trent, and that one is the eye of wisdom. It stands beside strength to help balance the other eye. So violet is strength, and so blue, eye of wisdom, goes to the left beside strength. So blue equals left. Next we type in show green to Trent. Oh, that is the eye of power, from one of the eyes of power, and that one is the eye of control. It stands above the other eyes. So we're going to type in green. Green equals top. Blue equals left, violet equals right, and red equals bottom. Top, bottom, right, and left. Next, we want to type in restore. Which is layer statue, open. It says look at statue. The statue depicts a woman that is both hauntingly beautiful and frightfully savage. Her near-perfect beauty is blemished by an elongated forehead, which has 4 eye sockets, forming the shape of a diamond. She also has 4 arms, each of which maintains a grip on a single jeweled dagger. So we want to type in put red in bottom socket. As you place the Eye of Mana into the bottom eye socket, it seems to shimmer and merge into the statue. The lower right arm suddenly lets go of the dagger. What now? Next, you're going to put violet in right socket. As you place the Eye of Strength into the right eye socket, it seems to shimmer and merge into the statue. The upper right arm suddenly lets go of the dagger. Next, you want to type in put blue in left socket. As you place the eye of wisdom into the left eye socket, it seems to shimmer and merge into the statue. The lower left arm suddenly lets go of the dagger. Next, we want to type in put green in top socket. As you place the eye of control into the top eye socket, it seems to shimmer and merge into the statue. The upper left arm suddenly lets go of the dagger. The jeweled dagger falls to the floor. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 5 points. Excellent. I want to type in save, statue, and add the word dagger. Jeweled dagger. And so you want to type in get dagger taken. Save the game. We've taken the dagger. Want to type in northwest. Northwest. Rat nest. The small northwest southeast tunnel is covered in rotting sewage and animal droppings. The tunnel ends at an unusual archway to the southeast. What now? After that, we want to drop amulet. First, taking the ancient amulet off, you take off the ancient amulet. Dropped. What now? In the sewage? That's gross. And then we type in northwest. Eastern end of sewage. Here the drainage trench ends at a junction of small pipes, each impassable. The trench leads west while the tunnel leads southeast. What now? After that, after we drop the amulet, we've gone northwest. We want to type in west twice, west, center of sewer. Then we want to go west again. Western end of sewer. You have reached the western end of a large sewage draining trench that continues east quite some smelly distance. A passageway leads northwest back under the trench. The end of the trench seems to terminate at a large sluice gate that opens into a drain leading further into the muck. After we've gone west twice, we want to type in northwest. Tunnel junction. You are at a junction in a little network of tunnels. One tunnel heads west back to the pit, while others branch northeast, southeast, and southwest. So after we go northwest, we want to go southwest. Mine shaft. You are in something that looks very much like a mine shaft. In the dim electrical light, you can just make out rough walls and not much else. Tunnels lead in all directions. After going southwest, we want to type in D for down. Deep in the mines. You are much deeper in the mine shaft here. The area has been widened out into a cavern, and there are signs that some major excavations occurred here. A large cage dominates the area. Inside the cage is a curious goblin-like creature. What now? Type in examine dagger. Examine dagger. It is one of those curved ceremonial types with strange hieroglyphics inscribed on the blade. It appears to be made of silver and encrusted with gems, while a brown crystal is embedded loosely in the hilt. What now? Get earth crystal. Type in get earth crystal. Taken. What now? Show. Type in show earth crystal to Trent. The creature looks at the crystal sadly, and he, quote unquote, clawed in the dirt for months for that. I did. It changed me, made me like this, but she needed it. She said that she needed it blooded to draw her master to this point. No other crystal could do it. I thought I could beat her too, the creature says. I tried to help a colleague, and this is my reward. What now? Type in show star crystal to Trent. Oh, pretty. Much nicer than the one I dug up. What now? Next, you want to type in put star crystal in dagger. Put star crystal in dagger. You put the star crystal into the jeweled dagger. What now? Type read pages. Read all for 3 points. So type in read. Read all pages. You can't use multiple objects with that verb. Just type in read pages. All right, what do we have here? Unnamed journal. The pages form a journal with these entries, : 3rd May 1898, 6th of May 1898, 18th of May 1898. These are all 1898, pardon me. 24th of May 1898, 6th of June 1898, 17th of June 1898, 2nd of July 1898, and the 9th of July 1898. Scroll down. Oh, there's so much to read here. And scroll up. It's how do I resume the game? Inside the cage is a curious goblin-like creature, and we have to read some information here. So we'll save the game here as read pages in a few minutes. But first we'll take a little break. Goblin, read pages. So we'll save our game and we'll continue in a few minutes. We'll take a little break here.
Hello, this is Jeremy from Video Gamers Oasis speaking, and I've been playing Theater and Interactive Night of Horror, a retro text adventure game that was originally made in 1995. In case I didn't mention it before, this text adventure game is being played on Windows Frauds, and you can download Windows Frauds for free on the internet. Now we're going to continue where we left off with restore our game. Now we're restoring our game back to where we were originally, deep in the mines. And if following what I've been doing so far, you are much deeper in the mine shaft here. The area has been widened out into a cavern, and there are signs that some major excavations occurred here. A large cage dominates the area. Inside the cage is a curious goblin-like creature. The creature paces back and forth in the cage. Now we're going to read pages. And the whole video in this segment will be devoted just to reading these pages. So hope you have a nice hot cup of cocoa or coffee or herbal tea. We're going to be a while. The pages form a journal with these entries. First, we'll read the May the 3rd, 1898. The Journal of Eric Morris. Dear Eric, may you have all the fortune in the world, and the future hold a happy tale. ... Your loving mother, X space X space X.
Another birthday has come, and this time Mother has given me this diary, probably an attempt on her part to encourage my writing habits. I do promise to correspond with her now that I am leaving for the city. Please press space. Alright, now we're on to the 6th of May. 6th of May, 1898. The letter confirming my appointment as draftsman at Baguette, Kuhl, Kuhl, and O'Leary arrived this morning. I leave on Wednesday. I dread telling Melissa. I will definitely miss her. She is rather sweet, but I will not propose to her. I am only 22, and I have a whole lot of living to do. There are no places to sow wild oats here. Square brackets, please press space. Alright, next entry, May 18th, 1898. My first day at the firm has been very eventful. I was shown around the offices and introduced to everybody, and then was given an office with another chap called Brighton. I spent the rest of the day revising some old drafts that the architects had done. The firm is very busy, as they are preparing a tender to build a new theater for a client called Horton. I have never heard of this person, but he seems to have all the big wigs upstairs as busy as bees in a hive. Apparently, he is one of the new oil chaps. One day, I hope to be as rich as he. Square brackets, please press space. Next entry, May 24th, 1898. The firm has won the account to build the theater. Brighton and I have been assigned to the team involved. The main architect is Trent. Curiously, Horton wants his daughter, Elizabeth, involved in some of the minor details, much to Trent's distress. Square brackets, please press space. Moving on to the 6th of June, 1898. I have just met Mr. Alexander Horton and his daughter, Elizabeth. Miss Horton, to use Brighton's terminology, is quite a dish. I tend to agree. She seems very intelligent and has the most splendid eyes. A true raven-haired beauty. Seeing her has made me very glad I didn't propose to Melissa, who seems almost dull compared to Elizabeth. Still, I have yet to gain my fortune, so ladies like Miss Horton are still out of my reach. That doesn't seem to stop Brighton. He clearly has a way with the ladies. I suppose I am a little envious. Square brackets, please press space. Next we have June the 17th, 1898. Today Trent and I went to Horton's house to discuss some design matters. Brighton was quite annoyed that I went instead of himself, but I suspect that Trent was a little concerned about his behavior towards Miss Elizabeth. We arrived at the Hortons' estate a little after 3. It was a rather smashing place with large gardens, a tennis court, and a small private zoo, where there was a tiger. I didn't get to see the beast itself, but I could hear it roaring quite loudly when we arrived. Horton and Trent spent a lot of time talking about the structure of the ceiling beams, while I had to do a lot of rough, on-the-spot sketches. Apparently, Horton wanted some rather unusual mathematical shapes designed in the ceiling struts and in the foundations. Trent admitted that some of the designs were highly innovative, but seemed unnecessarily expensive. But Horton insisted. During the discussion, I had a chance to talk to Miss Elizabeth. It seems she is an artist, a passion, she said, she inherited from her mother. Brackets, I saw a large portrait of her mother, posing with a then much younger Alexander Horton. Miss Elizabeth is the striking image of her mother. She has some designs of a giant front glass window. Very unusual. Square brackets more.
Square brackets, please press space. Moving on to July the 2nd, 1898. We are still working on the design of the theater. Yesterday, I saw Miss Elizabeth at the local gallery. We later supped at the gallery's cafe. I made an error in judgment of telling Brighton. He was very hostile about it. Please press space. Next, we have the 9th of July, 1898. A terrible thing happened last night. Brighton was found murdered. Due to Brighton's jealousy of me over the last week, the police interviewed me. Since I was helping Trent with the plans last night, I was soon freed from suspicion. Rumor has it that Brighton was very drunk last night and quite abusive to people. He probably ran into someone who wasn't very tolerant. Square brackets, please press space. Moving on to scroll down. We have the 9th of July, 1898. A terrible thing happened last night. Oh, this is the same story, so we've just read this one, so we can move on to the next one, July the 15th, 1898. Just arrived home after having an exquisite dinner at Elizabeth's. She truly is beautiful. I will admit that I am somewhat smitten with her. This is silly because she is unobtainable to me. Her father would never allow it. I must cool things down before I get in trouble. The firm would fire me at the instant if they knew about my feelings. Fortunately, the work on the theater design is progressing at an extremely fast rate and soon will be finished. Then I will be able to avoid her while my feelings simmer down. Please press space. Moving on to July the 21st. July 21st, 1898. Yesterday was an incredible day. Elizabeth accompanied her father to the office and we had a chance for a private conversation. I told her it would be best if we weren't so informal together and that it wasn't appropriate for us to meet like we have been. She just laughed and kissed me, just like that, in the office. Goodness, if any of my superiors had seen us, there would have been a tremendous fuss. She then told me that, in her words, I had quote-unquote delightful properties and that I was quote-unquote valued quite highly in her affections. Please press space. Moving on to July 25th, 1898. I spent last night in Elizabeth's arms. We went out for supper and then I escorted her home, where I spent a most magical night. Truly, I love her. I love her smell, her touch, her delicate laugh, her dark hair, and her beautiful eyes. One curious incident, though, puzzles me. After we made love, I went to the bathroom and, upon leaving it, almost walked into her father, whom I had successfully avoided earlier in the evening. On seeing me, I expected a most violent reaction and my career to be ruined. But instead, he just looked at me with sad eyes, like he felt sorry for me. Please press space. Moving on to July 29th, 1898. My romance with Elizabeth has been continuing steadily. I have managed to keep it a secret from those at work, although I think Trent suspects something. I find her father's reaction, or lack of one, to our affair curious. Last night I saw some of Elizabeth's pictures. To be honest, they were rather dreadfully morbid images of strange old cities. Others, which she had hidden, were of the most fantastic and ghastly creatures. I don't think I shall tell her I saw them, in case she might ask me my opinion. I cannot lie to those beautiful eyes of hers. Please press space. Moving on to August 8th, 1898. Today we finished the designs of the theater. Trent held a little celebration for us all at his club.
It is good that Horton is no longer a client of ours. I now do not have the threat of dismissal spoiling my feelings towards Elizabeth. Please press space. Moving on to August the 14th, 1898. Elizabeth made a most curious request of me. She wanted me to alter the plans slightly. I told her about how I was only a draftsman and not an architect, and what the actual difference is, but she insisted. I now understand what my father meant about not being able to tell a woman anything. In the end, I went to her father and he okayed the changes. I tried to tell him that Trent should be the one to do the changes, but he said I was to do it. Still, I think I will do it. Then perhaps she will let me see her pet tiger. Square brackets, please press space. Moving on to scroll down. We have the final list of journal entries. August 19th, 1898. I never really knew what a violent temper Elizabeth had until a couple of days ago. She gave even more changes to make to the plans, including a secret passageway from the toilets, of all places. I went to Trent and showed him the changes. When Elizabeth found out, she was furious. Please press space. Moving on to August the 23rd, 1898. I now have discovered the reason behind Elizabeth's quick temper and increasing moodiness. Her father was apparently sick for several days, and this morning he passed away. Elizabeth has obviously been replacing her grief with anger. Hopefully, soon she will have a good cry and return to her normal, lovely self. Elizabeth gave me more changes to make. They are very subtle changes to some of the geometric shapes that were built into the ceiling and foundations. I don't know why, but these changes disturb me greatly. Please press space. Moving on to the 2nd of September, 1898. Elizabeth has been impossible the last few days. She gives more and more changes, and then flies into great rages at the merest hint of objection. Also, my health has been failing due to my insomnia. Those changes she has been forcing me to make are hideous to behold. The strangest thing is I don't even know how drawn shapes on paper could be so disgusting anyway, and how they can give me such terrible dreams. Square brackets, please press space. The second last entry in the journal of Eric Morris, September 15th, 1898. I think I am losing my mind. My nights are filled with nightmares, especially about what that awful underground pit could be used for. Since I have finished the changes, I haven't seen Elizabeth, but I don't miss her. Oh, Melissa, I am ashamed of my previous entry about you. You are more of a lady than that whore ever was. I haven't been into work for several days, so I expect I am unemployed, but considering what trouble that job brought me, I don't really care. Square brackets, please press space. And the final entry of the Journal of Eric Morris. October, 1898. My salvation has come in the unexpected form of Trent. He saw the more involved changes I had made when he visited the building site. Apparently, despite Horton's death, they are still building that damn theater. Later on, he broke into the Horton estate and he saw what really lived in the sealed-off Tiger Zoo. He has told me to return home to Melissa and my family and to forget that this ever happened. I shall do this. Farewell, my diary. I'm about to give you to Trent. He has promised me that he will throw this chronicle into the foundations of the theater, and that he shall see that Elizabeth will not survive to see her theater completed. I shall return to my true love, comma, ...
Melissa. Square brackets, please press space. So let's scroll up, and that is the gist of the entire journal of Eric Morris. Let's return to the game. Deep in the mines. You are quite deeper in the mine shaft here. The area has been widened out into a cavern, and there are signs of some major excavations occurred here. A large cage dominates the area. Inside the cage is a curious goblin-like creature. Your score has just gone up by 3 points. Let's save our game. We'll save this as Witch's Lair. We'll rename this as Pages Completed. Or better yet, we'll write this as Witch's Lair Journal Completed. All right, and let's check our score. You have so far scored 42 out of a possible 50, 200. Pardon me. You have so far scored 42 out of a possible 50 in 291 turns, meaning that you have almost finished the game. So we'll save the game again. Journal completed. And we'll take a very brief break as I get things compiled for this section of the video, because I want to make sure this is very well made. I'll be right back. Hello, this is Jeremy speaking from Video Gamers Oasis on YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. If you're just tuning in for the first time, I do a lot of retro gaming on this channel. And tonight and today, whatever time you're watching this, I'm playing Theater, an interactive night of horror, a horror-based or themed text adventure game, originally made in 1995. We're nearing the end of this game. If you haven't already, please subscribe and click the notification bell. Send some likes and some super thanks if you feel inclined. I do appreciate it. Tell all your friends about these cool retro games that we grew up with. Tell all your friends that I do these gaming videos. We're going to be continuing where we left off. So we're going to restore the game. Saves. We've already read the pages, so we're going to restore our game file, journal completed. Look. Deep in the mines. You are much deeper in the mine shaft here. The area has been widened out into a cavern, and there are signs that some major excavations occurred here. A large cage dominates the area. Inside the cage is a curious goblin-like creature. Dig, 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 say the creature. That's all I ever seem to do. Did learn lots about rocks and stones, though. They talked to me while I slept. So after we read the journal about Eric Morris, I'm going to type in ask Trent about Elizabeth. The creature recoils at the name. Quiet, it hisses at you. She might be listening. Next, you want to type in drop all. Earth crystal dropped. Jeweled dagger dropped. All the loose pages have been dropped. And the painkiller tablets dropped. What now? Type in get dagger, comma, tablets. Jewel dagger taken and painkiller tablets taken. What now? Want to save our game as... We'll save this as Theater Goblin
goblin,
dagger, and tablets taken. We save our game here. Now we're going to go up. Type in U for up. Mine shaft. You are in something that looks very much like a mine shaft. In the dim electrical light, you could just make out rough walls and not much else. Tunnels lead in all directions. What now? After that, we want to type in northeast. Tunnel junction. You are at a junction in a little network of tunnels. One tunnel heads west back to the pit, while others branch northeast, southeast, and southwest. What now? We're going to type in northeast two more times. Northeast, old hallway. This sinister and murky hallway leads from the southwest to the northeast, where you can hear the sound of chanting. The chanting has a sinister inflection to it, and you can feel an undefinable fear rising up within you. What now? We'll save our game as old hallway. Old hallway. Next, after we go northeast twice, you want to go northeast a third time. Northeast. The chanting sounds awfully sinister in that direction. Are you sure you want to go that way? And we want to type in yes. Ceremony room. The hallway opens up into a huge cavernous room, brightly lit by a large sphere of light, which floats above the center of the floor. Standing beside the light is a tall, thin woman. Perfect timing, she cackles, moving closer to you. Rough hands grab you from behind, and a smell of rotting flesh assails you. You struggle but cannot break free of the vice-like grip. You can clearly see the features of the woman now, as she faces you. Her eyes are solid black, while her pale skin seems to be tightly stretched over her narrow, undernourished face, giving an almost skeletal appearance. It is almost impossible to tell her age, but you get the impression of great antiquity. She smiles coldly at you. Your marrow smells so sweet, but I must restrain myself. Your death serves a higher purpose. She reaches out and rummages through your pockets, eventually pulling out the jeweled dagger. She brings back the dagger, then slashes down at your face. You feel the blade slice through the flesh of your face, leaving a hot, searing wound. You can feel your blood running down your face and neck. Square brackets more. The room darkens as the light sphere turns bright red. Your blood summons the Old One. A path is formed and a new gate will open. It will be drawn to this planet now by the taste of your soul. Suddenly, her voice falters as she stares at the dagger. That's the wrong crystal, she shouts. She turns and runs towards the light. Forgive me, Great One. I did not know. I was tricked. The light sphere suddenly turns bright blue and shrinks quickly to the size of a ping-pong ball. A wind seems to blow towards the small sphere of light. No, please, the woman whimpers. I don't want to go back. I want to live forever. The wind blows stronger, and the woman seems to fall into the light and vanish. You are released by your captor, but before you can do anything, the wind seems to pick you up and throw you into the light. Square brackets more. Press any key to continue. ... You are slowly awakened by a soft and warm breeze blowing on your face. Above you, you can see the night sky shining down. Standing up, you can see you have been lying on a grass lawn. Outside the burning mansion, you are standing on what seems to be someone's front lawn. A gravel driveway winds its way south while hedges block all other directions.
To the north, you can see a large mansion. The upper stories are ablaze. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 5 points. What now? We're going to save our game as outside burning mansion. We'll take a quick break here and we'll be right back. I'll take a quick break to regather myself here. A lot of in-depth, frightening events have happened so far. So we've been playing Theater, an Interactive Night of Horror, 1995 retro text adventure game. We're going to restore where we left off. Type in restore, saves. I'm going to type in, we're going to restore the file where we last left off. Outside burning mansion. Let's look. Outside the burning mansion, you're standing at what seems to be someone's front lawn. A gravel driveway winds its way south while hedges block all other directions. To the north, you can see a large mansion. The upper stories are ablaze. Next, I'm going to type in north. Smoky Hall. Smoke circles around in the air, making it difficult to breathe, but that is the only visible trace of the fire here in the long hallway. Doors and stairs lead off in all directions, but the safest one is to the south, which leads outside. You notice that a trail of blood goes down some stairs. Lying on the ground in obvious pain is a man wearing old-fashioned clothing. You can also see a jeweled dagger, brackets in which is a star crystal here. What now? After we type in north, we want to type in give tablets to Trent. Give tablets to Trent. The man scoffs all of the pills. You can see him visibly relax as the pills remove his pain. Thanks, he says. My name is Trent. I know you don't know me, but I must ask of you a favor. One that may seem a request of madness, but you must do it. Below is an evil in female form. You must destroy her. If you do not, she will do great harm. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 1 point. What now? So you want to type in get star. Get star. Taken. What now? Next we want to type in D for down. Wine cellar. This was a large wine cellar that has been cleared out and put to a more sinister use. Large tables filled with strange paraphernalia are dotted about the room. A beautiful young woman stands here with a pistol in her hand and a cruel expression on her face. The old woman from the theater ceremony is here as well. The old hag shrieks at the younger woman. Quickly, fool! He has given us a second chance. He brought me here so that you will not repeat my mistake. She points at you. Our enemy has arrived. Now kill! What now? Square brackets more. What do we type after that? What do we do? Type in throw. Throw star at young woman. The crystal flies through the air and hits her squarely on the shoulder. There is a massive discharge of energy as the crystal shatters, and you, the woman, and the entire house are consumed in an immense explosion. Square brackets, press any key to continue, ... Theater lobby. Another day, another dollar. Life is good at the moment. The property market is booming. Still, it does have its downside. When showing those Mueller Corporation executives around the old theater dump opportunity, you must have left your pager down in the basement. Better hurry. You have to meet the others at the opera in an hour. And be careful. It wouldn't do to show up with your clothes all dirty. Theater lobby. This room is a tribute to the now faded glory of the theater. The still smiling faces of forgotten productions stare out from faded posters at you. An old grand staircase leads up, while the exit lies to the south. Small private doors lead northeast and northwest. Square brackets, your score has just gone up by 2 points. What now? So after that, type in NW, or northwest. Manager's office. Judging from the desk and lots of papers everywhere, you assume this must have been once the manager's office. Doors lead to the southeast and to the north. There is an open trap door in the floor. It was through here that you left your pager. What now? After we go northwest, one type in D for down. Basement. You can barely make anything out in here. The only source of illumination is the light seeping in from the street level windows. Not that it really matters, because all this room seems to contain is boxes and a couple of barrels. There is an open trapdoor in the ceiling. It was through here that you left your pager. Looking about, you realize that your pager is not here. Damn. What now? So after that, we want to type in U. Manager's office. Judging from the desk and lots of papers everywhere, you assume this must have been once the manager's office. Doors lead to the southeast and to the north. There is an open trap door in the floor. As you enter, the northern door of the office opens, and Reinhardt walks in. When he notices you, he jumps in fright. "Oh, you startled me," he says, grinning sheepishly. I hope you don't mind me coming back in here, but I left my cell phone behind. Anyway, while I was searching for it, I found this as well." And he passes you your pager. "Well, I have to go. I'm in a bit of a rush." With that, he heads southeast into the lobby. What now? So we typed in U. We're going to type in SE now. Southeast. Theater lobby. This room is a tribute to the now faded glory of the theater. The still smiling faces of forgotten productions stare out from faded posters at you. An old grand staircase leads up, while the exit lies to the south. Small private doors lead northeast and northwest. You can see Reinhardt leave the lobby via the door to the south. What now? Now after you type in SE, you want to type in south. Outside the theater. The neighborhood outside the theater has deteriorated steadily over the last 3 decades to the state of a slum. Brackets, not that you would ever use that word, comma, of course. Now a slight mist covers the litter-strewn streets. The street heads east and west into the murky twilight. Your car is parked outside here. You can see Reinhardt's car disappear into the distance. What now? Next, after typing south, we type in enter car. Enter car. You get into your car and start the engine. As you look out the windows to check that the way is clear, a leather-dressed figure limps into view. There is something sinister about the figure and the jerky way he walks, so you slip the car into gear and drive off. You get the uncanny sensation that the figure is staring at you as you disappear into the distance. 3 asterisks, you have won 3 asterisks. You have discovered the secret of the theater and have completed the game with a score of 50 out of a possible 50 in 310 turns.
meaning that you have finished the game. Would you like to restart, restore a saved game, give the full score for that game, undo the previous turn, or quit? I type in full. You scored the points by visiting the sealed up ticket booth, brackets 2 points. Visiting the secret gallery, 1 point. Visiting the dressing room, brackets 1 point. Visiting the secret stairway, brackets 1 point. Visiting the witch's lair, brackets 3 points. Visiting the western balcony, brackets 2 points. Visiting the southern end of the attic, bracket 1 point. Defeating the villainess, brackets 2 points. Helping Trent, brackets 1 point. Stopping the summoning ceremony, brackets 5 points. Reading all of the loose pages, brackets 3 points. Getting the jeweled dagger from the statue, brackets 5 points. Defeating the pit monster, brackets 3 points. Destroying the shadow creature, brackets 2 points. Removing the snake, brackets 2 points. Giving the ticket to the ghostly presence, 2 points. A spot of safe cracking, brackets 1 point. Gazing upon a forbidding visage, brackets 5 points. And getting the gas mask, brackets 2 points. Getting the shiny key, brackets 2 points. Crushing the giant slug, brackets 2 points. I didn't do that this time. And creating the pattern lens, brackets 2 points. Would you like to restart, restore a saved game, give the full score for that game, undo the previous turn, or quit? I think I will quit, and that will be the game. There you have it. And that's all the time we have for our gameplay. Complete walkthrough of Theater 1995 text adventure game. Very appropriate for this time of year, even if it's after October, it's in November 2025. I really had a really enjoyable time learning about the lyric theater, the history of the theater, and how Brendon Wyber has adapted a real life story into a bizarre, dark, cosmic horror fantasy of the lyric theater. I really enjoy the creativity that went into the story of the theater. I hope you enjoy the creativity and the imagination and the immersive aspect of the text adventure game. Send some likes, send some love, subscribe, click the notification bell of Video Gamers Oasis if you want to see more videos like this, more text adventure games. Send some super thanks if you feel inclined. And you may or may not have noticed I started a podcast on Spotify as well as on YouTube at this simultaneously called Taco and Text Adventure Game. Taco and Text Adventure Tuesday, ASMR. I just want to let you know I have not given up on that idea. However, I'm going through a bit of a transition, reconstructing my ideas and reconstructing my room, and I found that it was too draining to do the text adventure podcast by myself. Someday I may have someday I may get some help with it. But right now, I'm going to focus all my energies on the YouTube channel right now. In the meantime, you can still see the old podcast episodes on Spotify as well as YouTube. But I'm going to put all my energies into the gameplay only of the text adventure games, minus the taco eating. That was sort of a joke. You know how people have a theme of a Taco Tuesday. I thought I'd incorporate both taco and text adventures into one day. Now, I haven't given up on that idea, but right now I found it very emotionally and energetically draining to do all that at once, and I find I need to pace myself more and know my limits. That's something I'm still working on, is not to push myself over the edge. So I'm just focusing on the gameplay videos on this channel, as well as a little bit of history article reading. So if you like that idea, if you want to see more retro text adventure games in the future, please leave your comments below. Let me know what text adventure games you'd be interested in me walking through. Text only, mind you. We're not talking about point and click adventure games like King's Quest. However, I want to play more of those games as well. I'm talking about all script-based games.
really retro games that force you to use your imagination. So that's all the time we have. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great November 2025. Stay safe, stay healthy. Send some love to a veteran if you have a chance to, and show them you care. And I will be back with more great gaming videos, as well as video game history and video game trivia on Video Gamers Oasis on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.